Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Hanging with the Archabalds. Today, my husband and I are going to be talking about a particular topic that he has asked me about a couple times. Um, we had it as a discussion sometime
Yeah.
at home, and he asked the question. So, what's the question that you asked?
Okay, guys. What I'm asking, because it bother me sometimes. I see, you know, you guys, some young woman, whether married couple or
Dating?
dating couple, in pain because the other partner is like controlling, and they cannot do nothing for themselves. They get threatening words and all those things. So my question to you, why you guys have to stay in a relationship like that, knowing that it could cost you your life, but because you fear to say something out there, you decide to stay in it still. For I just want to know for what reason.
Well, I can't speak for every woman, but being a woman, I know that there could be a lot of reasons why you would stay in a relationship, even though it's
Toxic.
toxic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A lot of times, one, um, it's a relationship or that you are so accustomed to that some people feel that they are afraid to start over. When you're in a relationship for years, and especially when your partner is the provider, I think it's easier for a woman to walk away from a toxic relationship when she's her own, when she's providing for her own. But a lot of times, some women, they're depending on that breadwinner who is the opposite sex. And so they feel if they leave, they don't have that crutch to that support. 'Cause, living a life on your own is expensive. You have to pay house rent, you have to pay water bill, light bill. If you have children, you got to support your children. And the cost of living may not be where it is for that person. The person may not be making enough money to provide for themselves. And you just feel like, well, I've already invested so much years, so much time into this relationship, they feel like to start over is burdensome.
But you think that's the best way to go about that?
No, it's
It's
not.
not,
It's not.
because at the end of the day, it's your life you're risking. So I'm not going to I'm not going to be in a relationship where I unhappy for so many years.
Mhm.
So much years you're unhappy, you cannot do nothing for yourself. And it's like you being controlled,
Mhm.
that you get so scared of this person that, if there's a jump, you ask how high.
Yeah,
No, this is not a relationship you want to be in.
it's not.
No, you want to able to, be yourself, you know, do things for you and also your partner. That, well, do things for you that also gonna benefit your partner also.
Mhm.
Not, this is not just a one-sided thing.
Mhm.
Both of you into this, so both of you build one another.
Mhm.
But the controlling part, no, leave that aside. That don't need it in
Yeah.
a relationship. So for what you said, um, those reasons and all of that.
That was
Yes,
only one reason. There are many reasons why a woman would stay.
yes, I could. Some of them, especially the monetary thing, but
Mhm.
you're not going to be there, knowing that get you can get missing,
You can get what?
anytime missing.
You can go missing?
You can go missing
Oh,
anytime in a toxic relationship like that, because you're not going to say, oh, this man, this poor soul, this woman minding me, or this man, he will have me here on my 2 foot and all of that. No, no, you're not going to make no excuse with those
I
things.
think it's sometimes, when you're outside looking in, it's totally different from when you're inside looking out. Sometimes you see it even in movies where the man threatens you and tell you if you leave or if you tell anybody XYZ, I'm going to kill you. And so sometimes they fear for their life, and and if you don't have a strong support system, if you are not a person who have somebody that you can confide in, and you have some places that you can go and bunk, sometimes you feel that that's all you have. And I find it happens a lot with women, and I mentioned it already, with women who are dependent on the man. When you are not dependent on that man, you don't care whether if number one, if he hit you, that's the
Deal breaker,
this
right?
exactly. um if you working and he he's withholding money from you, as a form of sometimes we use those things, some men use it,
Yeah,
you have to beg, and no,
yeah,
if that's what a woman is depending on, then it's going to be hard. I mean, I remember one time, my pastor, she was talking about, the need for a building where women can go when they have situations like that. So
right.
you're in an abusive relationship, you have children or whatever, and you need some. Because a lot of times it's because they don't have an option. Some people like to be independent. They don't leave the mother house. They don't want to go back because it looks like, you leave and now you can't go back because it looks like you know,
But pride, it's
pri-
pride has got
yes,
some of
exactly,
it, just
pride.
pride.
So they don't want to go back. Some people don't have somebody that they could call and voice their opinion, and sometimes even when you have a friend that you can confide in, that person don't have the means of taking you in. So a lot of people, and then some, here we have a lot of expatriates. They've come from here from other countries. It's either they deal with what they have here, or they have to go back home, and they look at different things. It's not the ideal thing to be in, and a lot of times we don't know how that person got to that point.
Right.
But there are a lot of reasons that people stay in. It's not something that you should take. It's not a relationship that you should be in. From the time you see the first, okay, sometimes you see the first one, the person might say, they're sorry, they ain't gonna do it again. But if they do it a second time and a third time, the chances are they're gonna do it a fourth
Yeah,
and a
because
fifth.
that's how it starts.
Yeah,
That's how it starts.
yeah. So
That's how it
you
starts.
just need to be able to get up and go. And if you don't have some place to go, which might be the reason, like I said, there are several reasons. I don't know what it is for each person, but it could be financial. It could be because they don't have any places to go. It could be because they fear for their life. They're being threatened. Different reasons.
Well, for me, I cannot agree
Mhm.
with some of those reasons because, like I said, I'm not going to see danger and stay in danger for the wrong reason.
Mhm.
Now, I will look at it this way. I mean, yes, it's easier to said than
It's
done,
easier said than done.
right? But your life is at stake right now, and you do, you never know what's gonna happen to you. You don't do, you don't know what's gonna happen to you. My biggest chance is to go to the police.
Mhm.
That's my best chance. Go out there to the law and seek protection
Mhm.
because at least now you know. You go to the law, anything wrong with you, they know
They know
who
who
it
to go
is.
for.
They know who to go for.
Mhm.
So this is my take. So some people stay in these kind of abusive relationship for the wrong reason, and some women always say, oh, if he don't beat me, he don't love me, and all those things,
Not a
and
thing, so.
that don't make no sense.
Mhm.
I don't believe in putting my hand on a woman. No, I don't believe in it, and I don't want no woman put their hand on me neither.
Mhm.
Vice
I just was going to
versa.
say that. I just
Yeah,
was going to say
because
that
some
it's
woman feel
not
dictated on.
always the woman who is being the victim.
No, no,
Sometimes the man is the
the man
victim, and I think
exactly.
when it's a situation
Yeah,
where the man is the victim, it even looked upon worse,
it look
because
worse.
men tend to think that they can't go and seek help because they're not going to look
You
like a
know
man, because the
exactly.
woman is beating up on them. And a lot
Yeah,
of times it's not that the woman is beating up on them; it's because they're refraining from hitting the woman.
That's the
Because
thing.
men are naturally stronger than
Yeah,
women, and there's
that's the
no way
thing.
a woman can beat down a man and that man not be
It-
able to stand up for himself.
Yeah,
But because he's trying to
Yeah,
withhold himself
yeah,
from hitting her, then that tend to happen.
yeah.
Yeah. But you see the one day that man decided to retaliate and hit that woman,
Oh boy.
the police coming for him even
Straight.
before she reached the police
Yes,
station.
straight. And
Yeah.
they don't know what was happening behind the scene,
Mhm.
but that one little
Yeah.
error, that's it. And
Yeah.
you become the worst person out
Yeah.
there.
And I think that's the good reason to that. Once you go and report it to the
Yeah.
police, it's easier, because if you are going to the police and you're saying this person keeps hitting me, this person keeps doing this, warn them. And the day that you retaliate now and that person go to the police and say you hit them, the police will have the records that
Know that you
5 times before it was the opposite way around, and now this man or this woman has decided to retaliate and fend for themselves, and this is the result. So the police will tend to be a bit more lenient. You still might gotta go through the court proceedings and whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I remember being a product of abuse. Yeah, I had a case and I think I was fairly young still. I was probably still in my teens, maybe about 18, 19. Yeah, and I had an assault situation, and I wasn't the one to go to the police. My friends, my roommate, and another sister in the church, they took me to the station, and a report was made. They called in my parents, even though at the time I wasn't living at home. I had already moved out, but my parents was called. My father came to the station. I had to go to the hospital and got some stitches, and it became a court case, not because I pressed charges, but because the court system automatically, yeah, there's abuse, and yeah. So I know what it is, but it was not one of those situations where I stayed in the relationship because that situation happened, and
You was out.
automatically I was out.
Yeah.
I spoke to the person after, yes, but that was the end of that. Yeah. So a lot of times we don't ask for it, but it happens.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's many ways, like you said, you can get out of situation like that. Yeah, I don't advise nobody to be in a situation where you're whole hostages and cannot do nothing. You cannot, in fact, you cannot even do nothing for yourself to say, well, you're going to reach out to anyone else on all of those things.
Yeah.
No, that is not a relationship you want to be in.
Exactly.
No. So, what advice you have for the ladies out there that in this type of situation
My
and
advice
afraid to seek help?
is to not be afraid to seek help. In my situation, there was somebody at the house at the time when my situation happened. So it was easy for me to get help, even if I would have been afraid to reach out for help for myself. There was somebody around who was able to reach out to help for me. But for persons who are going through that at home behind closed doors, nobody else don't know. Sometimes the people know exactly where on your body to hit you so the mark doesn't show.
Yeah.
Some people, they're really wise.
I know.
But my advice to you would be, if you don't want to take it to the legal path first, you don't want to report it to the police, speak to somebody. You must have a friend. If you must have a mother, you must have somebody. Just let them know. They would help to guide you. If they're a
Seek
real
advice,
friend,
yes.
they will guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't stay there and take that abuse. Every woman is beautiful in their own way. There's no one that deserves to be abused and misused by a man, regardless to your financial status. You can always get up from where you are and make better for yourself. Don't depend on no man. You hear me? Don't depend on no man. From the time I left school, I've been working for myself. Matter of fact, I was working before I even left school. So I've always
Being an
been an independent woman and fend for myself. So it wasn't always a bed of roses, because sometimes you're not making as much money as you wish you could to live, but you have to be able to manage what you have. and seek the counsel, seek the help, speak to somebody, and
If that doesn't work,
move out. Get on your own. Go to the police if you have to report. If nothing happens, you just keep reporting, because at some point in time, you have to make sure that there's a record to show that you were reporting.
matter,
Because if one day you decide that you're going to take matter into your hand and you decide to take up a knife or something,
and
we're
something
not
happen.
condoning violence. We are condoning defense.
Right.
And if you are fighting for your life and you have to fight for your life, and to fight for your life means that you have to hurt
Retaliate.
someone else who is trying to hurt you, make sure that when you do that, it's documented that you were reporting all the time and the police didn't do what they were supposed to. Because a lot of times that happens. Getting a restraining order is not an easy thing.
Right.
Sometimes you're looked at as being malicious. But if you have that record that you have been reporting, so that when push comes to shove, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, like we said, we're not condoning in violence.
We're not.
It's just a word of advice. Just just a little tips. Just in case you have to be in a situation like that.
Mhm.
All right. So you know what to do. You know to seek help and do the right thing. Avoid this altercation if you can, and do what you have to do. Whether you're gonna move on or move out or whatever you choose to
Yeah.
do, but make sure you choose to do the right thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And my final advice would be to pray. Pray to God for guidance. Pray to God for help. He's our source of strength. There is nothing that He cannot get us out of if we really depend on Him. If you pray to God and ask, speak to Him like you're speaking to your friend.
Yeah.
Let Him know that the situation you're in, you want to get out. Show you the way of how to get out of it. Some women, we've seen women have to move in the middle of the night when the spouse gone someplace. You pack up as much as you can and you move when they're not there.
Yeah.
You have to find a way. Sometimes you seek guidance from earthly people, but we can also seek guidance from the Heavenly Father. Yes.
All right. So guys, it's been a wrap. Thank you all for watching.
We hope you enjoy this candid conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will be always here with you every step of the journey. And we're trying to do our best to give you some guidance, encouragement words as we go along.
Yes, and hope that we would encourage at least one person. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To encourage somebody, somebodies, some woman, some man, married, not married, dating. Relationship is relationship regardless of the type of relationship. So relationship advice is needed in all aspects. Yes. So until we come back to you on another episode of Hanging with the Archibalds, this is your girl Andra and Kurt.
And don't
asking
forget,
you to make sure that you
make sure you like the
the video.
YouTube
is the way YouTube works is that it works on this thing called algorithm. The more you like something, the more you comment on something, the more you share something, is the more that the videos will be posted on YouTube to other viewers. So
like, comment,
share and subscribe. Yes, and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Archibald out.
Bye for now.
Peace
and blessings.
We're hanging with the Archibalds, love in sight, sharing our world and it's pure delight. Hands held tight, beating hearts so bold. With you, my dear, every moment is gold. We're hanging with the Archibalds, love in sight, sharing our world and it's pure delight. Hands held tight, beating hearts so bold. With you, my dear, every moment is gold. We're hanging with the Archibalds, love in sight, sharing our